I've had a few already.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've just had a delivery from the courier who has brought me some of the Paulaner Salvator, which is an old German dark ale. Now, this is a really special one because this has been brewed for the last 375 years to the same recipe, and it looks really good. They use Salvator and Hercules hops in this, and it all conforms to the Reinheitsgebot, and it's a really special one. Paulaner, of course, are one of the big brewing conglomerates in Germany, and they have not a monopoly, but they're very dominant in the Oktoberfest in Munich because they are the largest brewery in Munich. And I mean, to be fair, they brew some fantastic beers. Every one I've tried of theirs. I've got some Helles downstairs, which I'm going to try in a bit. They do a really good Weiss beer, and they do other styles as well, which are really good. I've tried quite a few of them actually. This is one of their special ones, and it's quite an interesting one. So let's get on to what it actually is. Right, so this is a small bottle. It's actually 330 centilitres, but there's a reason for that. It's 7.9% in the alcohol AVB. It has some very choice ingredients. It's got the Hercules and the Salvator hops, which are part of the four traditional noble hops, and it's got some Munich malt in it, and some which has been roasted. The Munich malt has been roasted, and some pale malt as well. But all in all, it's got a hell of a lot going for it, and it's got some really good reviews. I've been looking at what some of the people have been saying about it, and I've even got a German mate who wants me to tell him what this tastes like because he's not tasted this before, and he does know his beer, to be fair. He recommends a lot of the beer that I sort of review on here, but it's a Doppelbock, and if you don't know what a Doppelbock is, that is quite a strong dark beer. Bock is a style of beer in Germany. It's usually brewed with darker malts like caramel malts, and Doppel, sort of meaning double in German, it's like double the strength. So let's get this open and let's see what's going on. Before I do though, here is the label. It's quite a good colourful label. That's what Germans look like 375 years ago. Here's the back of the label. It's got all the spiel on the label. You can get all this stuff on the website. So I know the sun's blaring down at the moment. I've left the missus out in the back garden. She's been on the gin. She is free sheets to the wind. Less said about that, the better. Right, let's get this open and let's see what's going on. Before I get this open, I just want to say a quick thing about the style of beer. This is a Doppelbock, and this is quite a popular style in Germany. It's a dark beer. They do these in Belgium as well. You get sort of Doppelbocks and triple bocks. It's the same principle, and this one is no exception. It is a 330ml bottle. It is a 7.9% Bavarian beer, as they say. It has the EU geographical stamp on it, so this is a genuine Bavarian beer. Very nice brown bottle. Got the Paulaner name, or yeah, the Paulaner name embossed on the side of the bottle. There is the cap, and if you can't see that, I'll tell you what, it's exactly the same as that. That is what it looks like. and that's what's on the cap. I've had this in the fridge, so it's reasonably cold. Let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Right, now before I open this, I do need to put a disclaimer in. This is in a brown bottle, so you can't see what the appearance is. I'm going to pour this into a clear glass so you can see what the colour is. But then afterwards, I'm going to pour it into a ceramic stein because that is how it's supposed to be drunk. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like in the glass. Then I'm going to pour it into the stein. All right. So let's get it open and let's see what's going on. On the nose, out of the bottle. Wow. Yeah. Really nice. Munich malt. You can just spot them good malts from Munich a mile away, or you can smell them. And what I'm smelling is what I'm going to taste. It reminds me of the Schlenkerla, the smoke beer. These have been roasted, and I'd wager that they've been smoked with wood rather than another style of, you know, roasting the malts, because it's just this very sweet smoke, if you can imagine that. If you can imagine smoked bacon, there's a little bit of that in there as well. So as I say, I'm just going to pour this into the glass just so I can show you the colour. Then it's going into a ceramic glass. All right. I'm going to try and get a bit of a head on this because it's quite high in the alcohol, so that head's going to dissipate quite quickly. Yeah, and it's going as I'm speaking. So there it is. Lots of carbonation in that. Very, very dark amber colour. Can you see the carbonation on the nose? And on the nose, that intense smoky malt aroma has mellowed out a bit. It's like the air's got to it, and it's sort of, I wouldn't say disappeared, but it's not there. I'm looking at the carbonation on that. It's really going for it. I don't know if you can see that or not. The head's gone, as you would expect from a 7.9 beer. But as I say, what I'm gonna do now is I have a porcelain stein here. If you want to have a look at that, that is going in there, and the head's come back a little bit. And I am going to taste it as it should be, out of a porcelain stein. Cheers. Amazing. That is amazing stuff. Them Munich malts, I would recognise them anywhere. They're very sweet, and they have a unique flavour to them. And of course, I'm getting them in there, and they taste absolutely amazing. But there's a hint of smoke on them as well, and that smoke is mixed in with some spirit alcohol. The aftertaste is a little bit bitter from them hops, but the overriding flavour is malt and the spirit alcohol. Now I've had this in the fridge for about 3 hours, so it's sort of cool. I wouldn't say it's cold, it's cool, and it's got that it's got that unique Munich malt flavour to it, which I absolutely love, and you rarely get that flavour outside of Germany. And to be honest, I've only tasted it once or twice from a German beer that hasn't come from Munich. The Munich malts are amazing, and only the Germans know how to make them taste like this. I've seen Camden doing beers with these Munich malts, or supposed Munich malts, but they don't taste anything like this. This is lovely. It reminds me of a best bitter to start off with, and then the Munich malts kick in, and that flavour is just so strong. Sweet, smoky malt, and it's lovely. I absolutely love this, and I came across this on the I think it's Malt Masters website. I don't know whether I should be telling you this, because they appear to be one of the online beer retailers who haven't sold out of all the good beers. So I don't know whether the cat's out of the bag now, but all the other sites I looked for this for, they'd all sold out. But I managed to get some of this, and this is absolutely amazing stuff. Really, really love it. Just full of flavour. If you like, I don't know whether you're watching this and you're aware of Munich malts when they're brewed in Germany, how they taste. They've got a unique, slight, sweet smokiness to them, which I've not had or not tasted outside of Germany. But all the good beers I've tasted in Germany have got that flavour to them, certainly from Bavaria anyway, and this is no exception. This is amazing stuff. I really like it, and it, as I say, it's a double Bock, so the alcohol's quite high. It's 7.9%. There is some spirit alcohol in there which runs through it, but it's not dominating. The malt's dominating this. So what's the verdict? Well, this for me is a 10 out of 10. And I don't know what it is, since this coronavirus has kicked in, I've been drinking some really good beers, and I am giving beers 10 out of 10 quite regularly. But to me, I will not drink shit beer, and this is fantastic. This to me is a 10 out of 10. It is a superb German dark beer. Now, you couldn't session this. This is 7.9, and I would imagine, this, and they've done it right. Fuller's got this wrong when they've done that Golden Pride, and they put it in a pint bottle. That is the right measurement for this. Fuller's was, I think the Fuller's stuff was 8.5. This is 7.9, and I can see, you need to savour this. I'm gulping it down now because it's so good, but it needs to be savoured. It's not one for sessioning like the Paulaner Hells or anything like that. And I've got some of that down there. I'll review that in a bit. But this stuff is amazing. I'd recommend that. If you're in the UK, I don't think you're going to be able to get this as readily available as people in Germany. There's online retailers that do it now, especially in this lockdown. I've already told you about the maltmasters.co.uk. I've probably shot myself in the foot here because I want to buy this again, and I'll probably go on there now and it's all been bought up. But I don't mind that. If someone else discovers how good this stuff is, party on. But yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, and I absolutely recommend this because it is brilliant stuff. And I wouldn't expect anything less from Paulaner. They do some fucking cracking beers, and that's no exception. Really good stuff. But the Germans, they just get everything right, don't they? And remember, beer is working class champagne.